Yeah, this is episode 25. As we rolling in here, we're going into episode 25 here. Projected, we're going to do over what we think is going to be the best player at each position from this point on, rest of season. Ain't that right, Tommy?
We are. I'm looking forward to this, just to revisit this in 4 months at the end of the season and see where we stand. It's a fun exercise, and we're talking for points leagues. I guess the format doesn't matter from a 12 team, 10 team, 15. The top scorer is top scorer, right?
Top scorer is top scorer.
So
right.
Really the differentiator there is points leagues.
Yeah. So Rockstar West, how you doing over there?
Man, doing great.
Doing
great. You know, the lead in always gets me going. You know, you just get a little.
Is that a back scratcher? That's also a guitar.
It's a back scratcher. It's also a guitar. Yeah, actually, it's Joe Bonamassa. You guys probably have no idea who that is.
Yeah, totally, dude.
Yeah, best blues guitarist, best just pure guitarist on the planet right now, Joe Bonamassa.
Okay, Tommy was typing in the notes there. It was confusing me. First, I didn't know what 6:15 was, but that's today's date that we're recording this episode. So let's just jump right into this. So what we're going to do, if you didn't understand what I said a minute ago, we're going to go through each position and we're going to guesstimate, give a hypothesis of who we believe is going to be the top scoring, not top 5, top 3, the top scoring player from each position. And let's just roll right off because Tommy can't help himself but already type his in the notes. Tommy, catching position. Who's the top scorer rest of season? Who's the guy at catching?
Well, I type in the notes because I'm the bookkeeper, the treasurer, whatever you want to call it, the secretary, keeping notes for us.
Yes, honey.
So I wrote mine. I'm going to go with Will Smith. He's not the top scorer right now. He's the 5th scorer. But Adley Rutschman is the top league scorer right now as of June 15th. He missed basically 3 weeks with a concussion protocol, which is a lot more than we expected too. So if it wasn't for that, I think he would be the top scorer right now, hands down. His points per game, he's 3.7 points per game, where Sean Murphy is 3.3. Adley Rutschman's 2.9. He's just got a huge volume. He basically plays every day. When he's not catching, he's DHing. Otherwise, Adley Rutschman would be my backup pick. But Will Smith has just been so impressive this year. I think he's the consensus top-ranked starting catcher.
Wait, which Will Smith we talking about here?
Probably the catcher. And I see no reason why he can't continue this. He's pretty good.
No, I'm going to agree with you. I was going to say Will Smith. He is 10 points away from Adley Rutschman as the number 1, and he did that in 80 less at bats. Like you said, he was injured with the concussion. Long time for concussion. He was out for more than the 10 days. I know I own the guy, so that was a little painful as I had to find somebody else to catch for me.
So I'll throw a devil's advocate in there real quick. You said he's got 80 less points per game, and Adley Rutschman's playing every day.
80 less at bats.
Sorry. The JD Martinez takes up most of the time at DH for the Dodgers. So when he's not catching, he's mostly sitting on the bench. So that's the only caveat to where I think Adley Rutschman could overtake him. With that being said, I still think it's Will Smith. He's just that good.
Wesley?
Yeah. It's not often that we agree 100%. I'm going Will Smith for basically the same reasons. He's got a better average. He's slugging more, better on base, striking out less per at bat. So, and you know what? He's hit more home runs and, 80 less at bats. So Will Smith has 10 home runs. Adley Rutschman has 8 and 80 less at bats. I mean, if you're looking at just home runs
too.
Yeah, he's only struck out 25 times in 170 at bats. So, look, man, Will Smith let's face it, he might be the best fantasy catcher consistently over the last 3 years.
You almost think for how good he's hitting, the Dodgers need to almost move him off catcher and get him into a more regular
in the lineup.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just tough, right? Because they have the best first baseman right now in the game at first base, and they're not going to play him there, And then DH, like JD's just been on fire. So, where can you put Will Smith when you give him a day off? It's just that's maybe you could put JD in the outfield and DH Will
Ooh,
Smith.
Put Will
that's a
Smith in the
liability.
outfield. That's more than JD. But
Yeah, but catchers need a rest day for a reason.
you worked out today, Tommy. You caught 7 innings yesterday. You still worked out today.
Yeah, it wasn't my best workout, but I did. I'll rest tomorrow.
Tomorrow's Friday, so that's all right.
Yeah.
All right, so that's catcher. You ready to move on to first base? First base is so easy. Is there discussion, guys?
Yeah, you saw what I just typed. It's like, yeah.
Yeah.
Freddie effing Freeman.
Yeah, so their answer is going to be Freddie Freeman across the board for you guys. But for me, I want to point something out. We're talking about
Tristan
rest of
Casas,
season.
dude.
No. We're talking about rest of season projections. So not total season. So not who finishes the most points, but from 613 on. Freddie Freeman's been fantastic. Freddie Freeman's been elite. He's been the best first baseman. And with all that being said, he will continue to be the best first baseman. I'm going to go with Freddie Freeman.
I was really like, who is he? Do you think Alonso's going to come back healthy? The dude.
I was hoping you were gonna throw out like a Vlad Guerrero or something like that. Which
no one but Yandy Diaz. No one but Yandy Diaz has near the stat line, and Diaz has about 50 less at bats, but still nowhere close.
The only two people that I honestly think could even challenge Freddie right now, probably Vlad Guerrero if he gets hot, and Paul Goldschmidt. Assuming
Goldie,
assuming the Cardinals get in some better universe,
some kind of rhythm
right now. Yeah, like
I actually thought Goldie is who Tommy was going to say. If he wasn't going to say Freeman, I thought he was going to say Goldie.
Yeah, Freeman's got 4.2 points per game, where the next closest Yandy Diaz at 3.7, and Yandy is kind of in a regression trend right now. So Pete Alonso is the next at 3.6, who's on the IL, followed by Nolan Jones, surprisingly 3.5. Being a rookie, I think he'll have some regressions. And Paul Goldschmidt at 3.3 points per game. That's the guy I think I could compete for him if it's not Vlad as well, rest of the season. But that separation is almost a full point per game, and we've got, 180-something games left? I mean, there's no reason why that couldn't spread even more. And Freddie just dominates them. So that's an easy pick for everybody.
We just talked about Freddie and Goldie. Look at their stolen base numbers. They're number 1 and number 2. So does that just say that if you're a first baseman that can steal, that you're going to be a successful fantasy asset?
No, because it's 9 and 7. It's not like Urias.
Compared to the rest of the first basemen, they lead first base.
You take out Freeman's stolen bases, and he's still leading the position by a margin.
Oh, I know. I'm just saying. Number 1, number 2 in stolen bases is Freeman and Goldie.
That's a coincidence.
You missed my point.
It's a coincidence.
The fact that Freeman has 9 stolen bases, though, like,
I bet that's more than I wonder if that's more than Tatis.
All right, we good on that one? Move to second base.
Oh yeah, we knew that one from the get go.
Yeah, I think that was easy. I think moving forward there'll be some challenges.
So next, we're gonna do second base. Let's go Wesley first. What do you think, Wes?
Oh, man. It is so hard to go against Marcus Semien in the second base. But
I swear, if you say Marcus Semien and do the same thing Tommy just did, I'm gonna smack you.
No, I'm looking at a guy, Ketel Marte, man. Look, he's 60 points behind Marcus Semien. But you look at their stat lines and they are eerily similar.
Yeah, we don't care what they did the last 2 months. We care what they're going to do the last 4.
And man, I don't know. I feel like Ketel Marte is having a great year on a great team, and I think he would probably end up stealing more bases than Marcus Semien. He might not hit as many home runs, but right now Semien's at 10 and Marte's at 9. You know, they're both in the 280s on the average wise. They're both slugging 470. Like, man, their stat lines are very, very identical. I, I'm going to go Cattell Marte over Simeon rest of season.
That's not bad. The Diamondbacks are hot. You want to ride the ride the hot team. I get it. Um, I'm on the same train as you, Wes. I'm not going Simeon, and this is really a kind of a this is not the guy's regular position, but I'm going Mookie Betts because if the Dodgers go, it's going to be because Mookie Betts goes. If the Dodgers make the playoffs and get back into first place and run with it, it's because Mookie Betts stopped hitting 263 and took off. Mookie Betts the last 3 weeks is just trending up. So that's my pick for second base, Mookie Betts.
Yeah, I looked at Mookie Betts, and I wanted to pick him, but I consider him more of an outfielder. But I'll let you have your fun because he's not going to win the outfield position. And I think I'm going to have to go with Marcus Simeon. He, he's
Sorry.
just done nothing wrong. He's at the top of a fantastic lineup. He gets so many chances at bat, hitting home runs. He's not really stealing bases, but I guess if you're hitting enough home runs, it doesn't matter. The run production is going to be through the roof. Yeah, it's hard to argue against him, but I'm glad we went with different picks.
Yeah, that's the first one I think we didn't have an agreement, right? Every other position we were like, I guess we only had two others, but it felt like we've been talking for longer than that. Will Smith, Freddie Freeman, and then we all went different at second base. It will be interesting to see. Even a month from now, it'll be fun to see.
Yeah, third and shortstop are another two positions that I'm looking forward to seeing how this plays out.
Yeah, so Tommy, give me your third baseman.
Well, I'm not ready to yet. I'm still
You're not ready
refreshing my
to?
screen.
Oh, third base? We skipped third base? All right.
Yeah, go ahead, Wes. So Bobby Witt.
I mean, no. Rest of season,
All of a sudden you're talking trash to us.
Devers. I'm going Devers.
No.
You know why? Because even in the start of the season, right? He was hitting below. He's still currently hitting below 250. I think he just starts hitting. He gets himself out of that. And I don't think that the Cleveland offense has enough support around Jose Ramirez where he maintains the crown over the third base position. So I'm going to say that Rafael Devers takes the crown from Jose Ramirez and he ends up the best third baseman, the top scoring third baseman by the end of the year. And from this point forward, I think I might take Rafael Devers.
Well, I was hoping you'd say someone else because I too am taking Rafael Devers. I've been watching his game.
Let's go.
He's so close to taking off. He's getting squeezed. Yeah. He's in home run robberies, and I think the last two games he had 2 home runs. I think he's about to take off, and even slumping, he's the number 2 scoring third baseman for the year to date. And I think once the weather warms up in Boston, he finds his swing. Yeah. The Red Sox offense clicks, just like you said. He's going to be.
And he's gonna be. You want to know what did it for me? So when they faced Cole the other night, and he had a home run off Cole the other night, right?
Yep.
And something about that swing at that point in time against that pitcher, I was like, oh, Devers' rhythm is back, and it looks like he's about to take off.
He owns Cole though.
I know, but it's just like something about that instance in time where you're like, oh man, he just got his confidence back, and like it's not like he hasn't been scoring points. You know what I mean? Like he has. He's had a great year. Like he's hit 250, which is below his average. But man, I watched that at bat, and I was like, oh, it's Devers has the confidence. Like he's gonna end up the top scoring third baseman this year.
Burns, I see your pick.
So I want to say that, and he's typically a second half guy in Austin Riley. Austin Riley has been heating up over the last month, but even Austin Riley's best year last year so far. He was only a 500-point scorer. He's just not there. It's hard for me to go against J-Ram. J-Ram steals bases. J-Ram walks. He doesn't strike out. He hits home runs. Even in a bad year, J-Ram does good. Point-wise, fantasy-wise, he always finds a way. And I can't go against J-Ram.
Yeah, hard to argue with that logic. He's the consensus pick, but he too has been slumping. He hasn't been himself either.
Yeah, I still will give. So you say that, Tommy, and over the last 28 days, the top 4 scoring third baseman is Ryan McMahon, Spencer Steer, Josh Young, and J-Ram, with 5th being Austin Riley. So a slumping J-Ram is still right there in the top. And then Austin Riley as well.
If I had to guess, none of us are going to be right, but these are solid picks.
And it's going to be Spencer Steer. I know, right?
Yeah, probably.
Hey, look, the thing about this is you're typically right, 30% of the time?
In baseball, it's good.
Yeah, like that's Hall of Fame numbers, man.
So, all right. So let's jump right then into shortstop. Who's ready to give their shortstop pick?
This is a tough position.
I know mine. I'm still pulling up the charts, but I know mine. You want me to go ahead and indulge?
Yes, please go.
It's going to be Corey Seager. He has unlocked something this year. He's incredible. 4.4 points per game, right behind ahead of Tatis at 4.2. Both those guys have missed times, either suspension or injury. He's locked in. He's in a good lineup. Same argument made for Marcus Semien. I don't know what his stat line is right now. Let's see if I can go find that. 366 for a 9.703 slug. And the only reason, that's the last month. That's pretty good for last month. But for the year, 357, 417, 643. So it's not very different. So he's not even close to top scoring pitcher, but he missed about a month with the shortstop missed a month with the hamstring. I did it again. Missed a month with the hamstring. But he's locked in. The shifts helped him. He's in the good lineup. He's in Texas. I think he's going to be the best guy moving forward, and I'm happy to roster him.
Yeah. If I'm looking at this list right now, Corey Seager and Mookie Betts are the only 2 players that I'm looking at that have scored currently more fantasy points than they have at bats. So Seager's at 158 points and 143 at bats, and he's hitting 357 and slugging 643. Like, nobody else on this list is anywhere remotely close to that.
Yeah. So is that who you're going with, Wes?
Yeah, that's who I'm going with. I'm agreeing with Tommy.
Seager. Come on, Burns, don't.
I'm going. No, I'm not. I can't. I'm not going with Seager. I'm going with a homer pick of my own team. I'm taking Tatis. Tatis is gonna.
Didn't we say he can't qualify for this because he's not playing shortstop? I mean, I know he's got the eligibility, but he's not a shortstop this year.
No, I don't care. He's going to be the top scoring shortstop. So he's going to be the top scoring player at the shortstop position.
Weak.
That's
a cop-out answer.
Why? Would you have said Tatis over Seager?
No.
Okay, then.
I picked Seager.
Yeah. Over the last month, Seager is the number 2 scoring shortstop. Tatis is number 1.
The fact that Seager doesn't have a stolen base yet kind of surprises me. Like, I mean, I didn't expect him to score 20, but freaking.
He's also nursing a hamstring injury come back from, so I don't think he's eager to run. And he's got Nate Lowe, Adolis Garcia, and Josh Young behind him. Like, there's no reason to steal. There's 3 guys that can probably hit a home run at any swing of the bat.
Look, Dansby Swanson has 4 stolen bases, okay? Like, he's not the fastest guy, but he could steal 4 bases. Like,
I'm curious where Baseball Savant says Seager's sprint speed is. I bet it's like less than 15th percentile. You want to take guesses? I think 50
over under.
No, just closest to. Don't look at it. I heard your keyboard.
Oh, I'm gonna go
Ooh, I was
over. I'm
close.
gonna go over
No, it is. I said closest too.
to 15 or
Yeah.
17.
God, you don't know how this game works.
Hey,
He's a,
we
he's
give me the money
I'll
line?
go.
What
I'll
we,
go. I'll go now. 1.
he's 20th percentile in sprint speed.
Oh, he was right there. Wes was right there at 17. He didn't go over.
Yeah, but he didn't know how the game worked. It's not
It
Price
doesn't
is
matter.
Right.
He just won.
Well,
I
he
said
thought he was.
1. He said 17. He didn't. He was close to not going over. Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
All right, who you got for
Uh,
outfield? I'm not
Outfield.
losing.
Outfield. It's.
We're not
Can you
competitive
guys?
here.
Can you guys argue against Ronald Acuna Jr.? Any of you arguing against him?
nah.
Tommy?
Can it? Do you think he's going to stay healthy the whole season to do that?
We can make that argument for every player, though.
That is fair.
So I'm going to argue for Fernando Tatis Jr. No, I'm not gonna go with Ronald Acuna for rest of the year from today.
You're
I'm
going
going
to
with
go
another.
Corbin
I'm going
Carroll.
with another Horman pick and Corbin Carroll.
Yeah, I'm having a hard time arguing against Corbin Carroll. I mean, the dude does it all. He's obviously shown a lot more power than we thought he would. The stolen bases are there. We knew that would be there, right? But he's also not striking out at an extreme clip. So it's kind of hard to argue against Corbin Carroll at this point, right? Like, he's got MVP votes right now.
Right, not just Rookie of the Year, but MVP. I mean, you just compare his line and Acuna's, and it's right there.
Yeah.
It's right there.
Yeah, somehow Acuna scored 60 more points than he has, but like, you look at the numbers and the counting stats, and they're very similar.
So let me just get this right. Burns, you got Carroll.
I do have Carroll.
Wes, are you taking Carroll as well?
Yeah.
I'm going to go against the grain, and we talked about this before the show. Guys who have utility only, your Bryce Harper, JD Martinez, Shohei Ohtani's, they're going to fall into the outfield category. With that being said,
No,
I'm
they're
going to go
not.
with Shohei Ohtani. No, for
Why
this
would-
purpose, we're not ranking a DH. Come on, that's dumb. There's like 4 guys to pick from. We
Why?
know who it's going to be.
Bryce Harper.
No, it's Shohei Ohtani.
Oh yeah, Shohei Ohtani.
So I'm not going Bryce Harper.
No, because that's different. We would do utility. Otani's not outfield eligible, is he?
No, he's not. But you're going to rank utility like DH only guys. That's like 6 players.
Yes, I am, because that's the position in fantasy.
Nah, we're not doing that. That's any position. We just called all top position guys. It's my game. I'm not doing that. I make the rules. So Ohtani. So I'm going with starting
You
pitchers.
make the rules here.
Yeah.
You walked in, you're fired.
All right, Tommy, give me your starting pitcher.
I'm not ready. I was
No,
arguing
it's
too
your
much for-
game. You got to do it. It's your game. Let's go.
Off the top of my head, it's Shane McClanahan, but I need to look up, make sure I agree with that. He's been so consistent. It's hard to argue with him. You know, Cole struggled a little bit. Strider struggled a little bit. Evaldi's been fantastic, but he's not going to do that forever. You could argue Gosman, maybe Corbin Burns could find it. Hell, even Shohei Ohtani that would be fantastic if he's the top in both, not combining his points. But I'm still going to go with Shane McClanahan. Plays for a good team. He's healthy. I think they'll let him go far enough to get the points, the Rays, at this point in his career. That'd be the only thing that'll hold me back, is that maybe they just pull him early or limit his innings for some reason. But assuming he gets that, it's going to be Shane McClanahan.
Wes, are you arguing for or against? Saw some head nods over there.
I'm kind of in between on this one. I got 3 guys that I honestly think could do it. McClanahan obviously is one. Nasty Nate has just been, I mean, he's just been unbelievable this year. And the third guy is, I don't know what to make of it. Spencer Strider is like, he's got a 4.12 ERA after our last few starts. And I'm like, he's also the guy that if he led in points the rest of the season, it wouldn't surprise you, right? Because he leads everybody in strikeouts. He plays for a great team in the Braves, so he's going to get plenty of opportunities for wins. I could probably make a an argument for Strider, but man, honestly, I'm gonna go with Nasty Nate for the reason that he's walking less people than McClanahan, and and I think it was Tommy that mentioned, man, Tampa Bay just does some weird stuff sometimes, and I think Texas has made it very clear they'll let Evaldi go 8, 9 innings anytime he wants to.
He's always been that way.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. Strider is probably an easy pick. It's probably who Burns is going to pick because he's on his team and he picks all of his players.
Ooh.
But velocity's been down for Strider over the last couple games, and I wouldn't surprise me if he had an IL stint just to give him some time. He's still young. I don't know if there's an age concern. I haven't really looked into him, but his velocity dipping, they definitely want to be in the playoffs. They're not going to throw him 220 innings at this age. I wouldn't be surprised to see a phantom IL or real IL stint from Strider. Just nobody said anything, but velocity dips like that quickly for that sustained give me concern.
It's very strange to look at this list right here, and like everyone on this list that he is around has like a 2.9 ERA, a 3.1 ERA. That's Joe Ryan and Zach Gallen. Like Spencer Strider is the next guy, and he has a 4.12. And it's like, man, that's. I mean, that tells me that what it was. What 2 starts that he had where he just gave up 5 or 6 runs. Yeah,
You
so
just got
eight runs against the Mets and 5 runs against Detroit, which that balloons the ERA.
Yeah.
yeah. Gosman's given a run for money, 117 strikeouts and 86 innings. He's only 10 short, but more innings.
So I wanted to go with Garrett Cole. He's my feel good pick, but looking up his numbers of first half, second half stuff for the last 2 years, I didn't like it. No one stood out to me like Wes. You guys just talked about Strider. He has not looked good. No, earned run wise the last few games, like Tommy said, his velocity's down almost 2 miles per hour in his last 2 or 3 starts. That's
That's
worrisome.
a lot.
Yeah. So I am going to go with the quality start king in Framber Valdez. Can't go wrong with quality starts. The guy had 23, 24 in a row last year. He is the second place in quality starts. He's first place in the American League, second place in major leagues behind Marcus Stroman. I can't go with Marcus Stroman. I don't think this is who Marcus Stroman is right now. It's pretty great things Marcus Stroman's doing right now. I've never been a believer in Marcus Stroman. He's on the Cubs. Been on the Cubs this last year at least. Has he been on the Cubs last 2 years? Is this his first year?
He?
Why
Yeah,
am I
he was there.
blanking?
He was there last year.
Okay, why was I blanking that? He's my own Cubs player.
So I mean, here's the thing about Stroman. He's had one game where he gave up 6 runs, one game where he gave up 5 runs. I mean, he's had a quality start in almost all but all but 2 starts.
Yeah, and
I
Valdez
just don't
is
know
right
that.
there. Valdez is right there. Only 3. Cole's got
Yeah.
10. McClanahan's got 10.
I just don't know that continues for Stroman. Like if it does, and at the end of the year, Stroman is still there and he's in the top. I mean, he's the number 6 scorer in fantasy right now. If Stroman's there, look, by all means, I'll give him credit. Do I think that he's going to be there? No.
One thing that's not going to change for Stroman that's helped him is his middle infield defense. That's not going to change.
Yeah.
Could his outfield defense change? Bellinger could be traded, but Happ and Suzuki and left and right aren't going away.
I
So
think
he's still got
Stroman
the
gets traded
defense.
before Bellinger, right? Like if Stroman is not on a different team by the end of the year, that's more surprising to me than him being a top 5 scorer.
You just hurt someone's feelings. Look at his
No,
face.
no, because I think unless if the Cubs also just go on a tear and win the NL Central or planning to win the NL Central, which
It's
the
it's very
GM does
possible.
not want to do. Well, the GM doesn't want to. The GM wants to sell.
Yeah.
They have shown that from the beginning of the year they don't want to try. But I'm not going to go into Cubs tangent any further. But yeah. So
All right.
last but not least, Tommy, relief pitcher. Are you ready at your
I
own game for the last player?
I am ready, and I
Spencer
was
Strider.
couldn't. No, he doesn't count. It's my game. I couldn't decide between two players, and I've settled it down to Alexis Diaz. He has been fantastic. The thing that slows me down is he plays for the Reds. So
I'll
they're
caveat you though. The Reds could be the team that wins the
the,
NL Central.
here are my logic. He's been lights out. 1.61 ERA, 0.79 WHIP, 17 saves. He doesn't lead the league in saves. It's a manual Class A. He's like fifth or sixth right now. But one of two things are going to happen. Either the Reds are going to go get super hot because they got all these prospects coming up and they're going to be good, all these pitching prospects coming up, and he's going to get a ton of saves because they're going to win a bunch of games, or they're not going to win and he's going to get traded to the Mets or somebody, and he's going to be the closer for them, and he's going to get a bunch of wins or a bunch of saves. So I think either way, he's going to be on a fantastic team. He's probably the best inning for inning pitcher right now. That family's fantastic with closers. And I think he's going to be the leading scorer moving forward.
Wesley, you got a lot of head nods over there. What are you thinking? You just agreeing with what he's saying?
I'm on board with Tommy's logic. I would agree with I wouldn't disagree with anything he said. I would agree wholeheartedly. But I think I would rather have Batista the rest of the year because Baltimore is good. Batista's not going to get traded. He is their closer, and he's been just as good
High
as
strikeout rate.
Diaz. Yeah. I think he's going to be presented with more opportunity than Alexis Diaz. So I think for me, Felix Bautista gets the nod there.
Yeah, that was the other guy I was looking at, but the combination of Alexis Diaz's potential to be on a good team or will be in a good team, and then Felix Bautista already has 4 blown saves, which just leads second in the league, I think.
I could see Alexis Diaz on the Yankees.
Ugh, don't do that.
Even though the Yankees they've had the best bullpen ERA, like they haven't had that lockdown guy. You know, Clay Holmes hasn't necessarily taken the reins. Michael King hadn't really taken the reins. Like they've swapped between closers. You put Alexis Diaz in that bullpen that's already just lights out, man. It could be it could spell some bad news for Tommy.
So a big name that in the past, Aroldis Chapman, he's still pitching. He does not have, over the last 28 days, he does not have more than 26 points. And was the elite guy back in the day. He's still pitching.
Yeah, the Royals have to win games for them to do that.
Oh, 26 points though over the last month. So anyways, Tommy, I want to agree with you about Alexis Diaz. And I think the Reds are the team that wins the NL Central. But I'm going with Bautista as he has the strikeout rate, the 26 strikeouts in 11 innings. That's just awesome. All right, so that's that we made it through everything, but we didn't go through over utility. We didn't go to the utility position.
And the episode.
Otani. Okay. No. So, all right. So that's been our best players. It'll be fun to visit this a month from now, especially at the end of the season. But this has been our episode 25. Any last words, guys?
No.
Nope.
Rate us 5 stars. Give us a follow, comment, like, retweet.
Give us a follow on Spotify, whatever you're listening to this. It's your favorite platform. Whether it's Apple, Spotify, Google, or it's on YouTube. If you like seeing our friendly faces on YouTube, we do get views on YouTube, guys. So somebody's watching. Somebody's watching on
Thanks,
YouTube.
Ethan.
All right, so that's episode 25. We will catch you guys on the next episode. Bye.